Can he provide the perfect execution? Third and final attempt for the Swede. Duplantis with 70,000 behind him in the Stade de France breaks the world record! Mondo Duplantis doesn't disappoint! He needed all 3 attempts, but he gets it done magnificently! And for the 9th time in a stellar career, he breaks the pole vault world record. His girlfriend, as usual, first on the scene. And she'll stay on the scene. It is a sensational close.
Name that would resonate in the hearts and minds of many of a fan throughout the world. Mondo Duplantis of Sweden, 6.25, a world record in Paris 2024. The pole vault, his main event, an Olympic record just 15 minutes before, stunned the 70,000 in attendance at the Stade de France. He made some movements before, had a stretch out, and ensured that everything was A-OK. Reviewed the footage on the tablet in his jump, and boy, oh boy, was it an amazing finish for the young man of Sweden. Mondo Duplantis from Sweden. That has to be the pinnacle of sport for the games so far. Welcome to the show. This is We Paddy Prime. Joining me to discuss this and other developments throughout the entire day, we have Jehu Gordon on set with us, and Anil Roberts is with us as well. Gentlemen, we just witnessed this firsthand, fresh off the blocks. Mondo Duplantis of Sweden. Jehu, amazing feat.
There's no better way to close the ending of the day. Right, we saw one world record already in the mixed 4x1 relay, and now Mondo Duplantis. We've analyzed the multi-event athletes competing over 2 days, over 10 events, and now this here is spectacular because it is all-encompassing. Mondo needs the speed, he needs the flexibility, he needs the strength, but most of all, he needs guts. Do you know how tall 6.25 meters is? The regular height of a basketball hoop is just over 3 meters tall. So imagine double that. If you don't have that kind of guts, if I'm that high in the air, I need some form of support, to be honest.
That has to be something out of the ordinary. Look at his eyes, very focused on the goal. And as the moment that pole lodged into the slot, he leaped and pushed himself over that. My goodness, that was really, really an impressive jump indeed. That was one of his earlier jumps there, Anil, but that really sealed the deal for him for an Olympic record just 15 minutes before the attempt was made for the world record.
Well, what can I say? That is a gentleman who is at the top of his game. He's now totally eclipsed any memory of Sergei Bubka, who was the greatest pole vaulter of all time, who had broken the world record. Last time I checked, over 29 times. But this Duplantis, earlier in February or March at the Diamond League, broke the world record at 6:23. He came in knowing that the gold medal was his. But great athletes are not just happy with that. He got the gold medal. I think silver was 595. Greece got bronze, and the USA got silver. But then he went up one step to 610 to take the Olympic record, to beat his Olympic record, and then he went for it world record. He made 2 attempts. Jehu said, you know, he got the height, but he just didn't get inside enough. He didn't get over the bar. He couldn't get that angle, that final push. And when he had one more attempt, we all looked at each other and we said, that man, because them people waited, nobody left in a football match. When I side down 2-0, stadium is empty with 3 minutes to go. Nobody left. They waited for Duplantis. He saw them and he delivered. What brilliance. And that snap of the court to get over that bar, that is poetry in motion. That's the greatest pole vaulter of all time that we're getting to see before our eyes. Now he nearly cuffed down one of his friends there. They were celebrating. His friend hit him a cuff, but Duplantis hit him a pole vault straight in his chest. The man done that cuff game one time, JU.
Stop playing, all kicks over. And it is really great to see, because athletes, and we know this year is the first year that athletes in track and field will be compensated in the sum of 50,000 US as a professional. No, just all gold medalists in track and field will be compensated. And we know for the shoe companies, to break the world record is one thing, but to break the world record when the entire world is watching at the Olympic Games is something really, really special.
Yeah, some interesting news there from J. Hugh Gordon. At this moment, I would like to welcome someone you have been hearing her voice throughout the entire duration of athletics so far. From the Paris Combox, Daniel Dowie joins us in this discussion. Daniel, tell us first and foremost, what do you think about Armand Duplantis from Sweden?
Well, he's been breaking the world record for some time now, and each time he competes, I just sit on the edge of my chair and I wait to hear the news that he's broken the world record again. So, and he manages to bring excitement with it each time. He came in as the favorite. He's broken the world record so many times before. But the way he did it on the final event of the day garnered the attention of the entire stadium. Doing it on his final attempt, I just thought that the excitement, the suspense was extremely high, and he does what Mondo does, that's break the world record. So no surprises, and really, really just happy to see that this day ended on a high note like that.
Daniel, we here in the studio, we were at the edge of our seats. He missed his first 2 failed attempts. I've never seen an entire stadium stay back to watch a field event before, but Mondo, for some reason, was able to do that. What was the vibes in the stadium currently?
Well, if you know that he's always, like you said, he's always breaking the world record, and everyone wanted to see, is he going to do it again? 6.25 meters, as you said, that's extremely high. And for those of us who are afraid of heights, really scary. So it just was a tremendous amount of suspense and anticipation that was built up. And he eventually was successful at that height. Already had the gold medal, so nothing to lose, everything to gain. And he's used to this type of moments. He's broken the world record over 10 times now, I believe, and he's used to it. So the pressure, I was not worried about him being able to do it on the final attempt. He's done this so many times before.
Daniel, just first time you're joining us on the show, We Party Prime. Tell us what is your experience so far being part of the entire commentary and analyst team, doing commentary and giving the viewers of the Caribbean and the world the best possible seat in the house?
Well, it's been wonderful so far. It's really wonderful when I get comments from a lot of supporters across the Caribbean through different mediums, especially on social media, and people messaging me personally. So it's a great feeling to be here and to be a part of the commentary team, and I'm really excited and honored to share the stage with you guys. It's a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen so many athletes compete, but one of them who has been doing really well and representing her territory is Shafiqua Maloney, and she's doing quite an amazing job. And all of us here in the We Party Prime team, we've been analyzing her efforts and really pushing ourselves and sending all the best wishes to her. But first up, what do you think about her performance?
Fourth. It's bittersweet, but I think in hindsight, it's the highest finish by an English-speaking Caribbean woman, and she's the first ever St. Vincentian to make a final. So a lot of firsts, and some of us know the hardships that she's been through, and she ran with a lot of heart. She ran very smartly throughout the rounds. I was very impressed with the way that she ran the races. She was very tactical. She didn't expend herself too much, so she really pushed herself and got 2 national records in the process. So really, really great effort, and I'm really proud of her. And it was emotional to watch because of all that she's been through. The journey, a lot of times people don't know what athletes have to go through. She's battled homelessness and been in positions where she's not had enough food to eat, the proper nutrition. And it takes so much to be a professional athlete, a lot of medical care, expenses. And to be able to do that, to get where she is in an Olympic final, finishing 4th. And I just think if she hadn't been clipped, I think she was boxed in, got into a little trouble there, but that comes with the 800 meters. You don't run in lanes. This is a part of the process. But I thought that it was a really incredible performance from her. And I'm really proud of her. And I know that the island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I know that they are proud as well. And I celebrate with them because it's still a tremendous achievement. And she did really well. Yeah,
really, really indeed. She did a fantastic job. Now, for those of you who missed it, let's take you back to the final moments of that race where Shafiqua Maloney could have copped maybe even bronze.
With a shot, she gets clipped. That could hurt her. She'll need tremendous fight, Maloney. Keely Hodgkinson, 3 times a global championship silver medalist, has the lead in the Olympic final. Mary Mora trying to challenge her. Hodgkinson steps away. Shafiqua Maloney is fighting. Hodgkinson will be the Olympic champion. The battle on for silver. Jaguma gets it ahead of Mora. Maloney puts in a stout performance and finishes 4th in the Olympic final. The best ever performance by an English-speaking Caribbean woman in an Olympic 800 final. But she finishes just off the podium. And Keely Hodgkinson, after 3 global silver medals, is at last a global champion. She is the Olympic champion.
What a race for Hodgkinson. She took charge. It wasn't fast over the first lap. It wasn't fast, just 58 seconds.
Hodgkinson getting that first position, Dumaga second, and Mora taking that 3rd spot. Anil Roberts, let's bring you into the conversation very lightly. Your take on this race, a close one in the end.
Well, boy, I just have total respect for the effort of Maloney. We have to understand, Hodgkinson knew that she had quality, she had the speed, she had the ability, she had the 3 silver medals. So first round, Hodgkinson and the Ethiopians, the Kenyans, could pace themselves, run well within their levels, not push themselves, not stress their bodies. Not Maloney. Maloney came not knowing what she could do, where she could go. Her country had never advanced. She ran the first round, national record 158. That last 100 meters, she ran her liver strings out in the first round. She recovered somehow, so well done to her, her coach. She came back in the semi-final. Same thing, fight for her life, break a national record 157 again, come back to do another 800 in a final, and my goodness, I don't know if she had double liver string, but this is a fight. I mean, Jay Hugh will talk about the boxing that Daniel talked about, but she fought and gave everything. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, stand up and applaud the daughter of your soil, history maker, brilliant effort. Proud Caribbean woman. I just to let you all know, we are English-speaking Caribbean and SportsMax, but we are all one Caribbean. So Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominicana, and so on. Okay, Haiti. J.U., the boxing, though.
Yeah, just talk us through that boxing.
Tú hablas español, sí?
Poquito, hombre. Esa vaina está bien, ¿eh?
All right, está bien.
Just talk us through that moment there when she got boxed in that Daniel mentioned earlier. How can an athlete not get into that position?
Well, first off, when I noticed they went through the first 400 meters in 58 seconds, I found it was a pretty average pace, and it was set up for the person with the most foot speed at the end. I thought Shafiq would have actually had a pretty good stead coming home, especially with 150 to go, because we saw yesterday or day before in the semifinals, they came through at 156. So to break your national record in the heats, break your national record in the semifinals, and you've already gone through at 56 seconds pace, it means that Keely Hodgkinson, she came through at an average 58 and 58, which is an even split 800 meters. So pretty tactical, pretty technical 800 meters. But throughout this point, I found that it was a pretty rookie mistake to get caught in the middle here, and then she gave herself really too much work to do. Whenever you do decide to make a move, though, you do not see the move unravel for at least about 20 or 30 meters. So once she got boxed in and she found it hard to come out, she had to make a big decision where next to make my move. And we saw her make the move a little bit too late, and I believe that little extra 5 meters or so where she was hesitant to make the move, it cost her the bronze medal.
Yeah, Daniel, what are your thoughts on that as well? Jay Hugh just broke it down for us, but do you share the same sentiment?
I do, and I think in the first 2 rounds, the pace through the 400 in her sections were faster. And her tactical strategy, her tactics worked better in those races with the faster pace where she sat in mid-pack and saved and had enough to finish strongly. This time around, it was a lot slower. I think she would have expected it would have been faster. She could have been closer to the top 3. She could have inched closer to the main contenders at the front. And I think that was the difference there. It was a lot slower through the first 400, and she, in the first 2 sections, was in a heat that was a lot quicker. So her tactics was more appropriate in those races. It was still a very smart way to run the race. I think she could have given a little bit more in the first section to stay closer to Hodgkinson, and but I still think it was a really brilliant effort. 157.7 in the finals. It's just unfortunate that she was off the podium, but she was so very close. I don't want to nitpick it too much because it was an incredible performance. Again, as we mentioned, she's the highest finished woman, highest placed woman from the English-speaking Caribbean, and so that in itself is a tremendous feat.
Yeah, Daniel, you were providing some comments as well for the women's 5,000 meters. What do you think on that?
I am disappointed, distraught that Faith Kipyegon has been disqualified. I actually am hoping that they revisit that, because that in obstruction is what the IAAF rules that they, World Athletics rules that they cited in her disqualification. It was an exciting race. I did not expect Sifan Hassan to really have that much in her. She stepped away from the track to do a lot of marathon running, and I thought going up to the longer distance she would have lost a lot of her speed, but as we see, that was not the case. She finished with the silver. And Beatrice Chebet, the 5,000 was always going to be exciting because we had the 10,000 meter world record holder who won, Beatrice Chebet of Kenya, and we had Gudaf Segai, who was a part of that clash and that obstruction with Faith Kipyegon, who is the world record holder in the 1,500 meters. So the 1,500 meters, 5,000 meters, and 10,000 meters world record holders were going up against the defending champion, Sifan Hassan. And it played out with a lot of drama, and it ended up with the 10,000 meter world record holder Chebet winning, Sifan Hassan settling for silver, so losing, not defending her title successfully, but she gets a silver medal, and the Italian Battocletti gets third because of that disqualification of Kipyegon from Kenya. I'm really watching to see if they eventually overturn that. As you can tell, I'm a Kipyegon fan. I'm not happy with it.
Yes, well, Daniela, now I would tell you that this Sachin is where the coach and the manager gets in, because you have to protest. You have to take 277 Swiss francs. Now in swimming, FINA, for example, 2004, George Bovell had been disqualified in the 100-meter freestyle, but I needed him to get a swim before the 200 IM. So I told his father, get the money, let's protest. He said, but you're going to waste my money. Since 1896, no protest has ever been overturned, because you cannot argue a fact. But they said he false start. When I got the card, they just put false start. I asked, did he false start? Did he flinch? Did he move? Did he leave before the signal? What did he do? There's insufficient information to be a disqualification. It was overturned for the first time in history in 2004. Later on, Aaron Pearsall won gold for the USA in 200 backstroke, lost his gold medal with disqualification. US Yankees used the Caribbean strategy and he got back the gold medal. So if I was that manager, I still inside there protesting, J.U. I want my medal, boy.
But it comes with the territory with this long-distance race, right?
No, it comes with the territory. It is an unsaid principle that in the long-distance event, there's going to be shuffling, there's going to be jostling. So we really, unless she really tripped and fell over, had to get back up or was in a prime medal position, it doesn't really make sense that we would lost the 100 US. Yeah. In your time, it was 270 something Swiss francs, but here it's really 100 US, $100 US.
They'd have lost it.
Yeah, they would have lost it.
Well, the discussion continues after this quick break. Stay with us on We Paddy Prime.
Avec assez honneur, nous restons le beau. Nos vents, nos éclats, nos cœurs sont élevés, India sont élevés. In the arena, we give our all, with grace and honor, we stand tall.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
In a world where our dreams sometimes seem so far away, Digicel is the partner that brings us all together. Stay connected this summer at home or on the go with Digicel Plus Home Fiber or a Prime Broader plan. Enjoy premium access to the action anywhere you're there. One side, one Digicel, one Jamaica. Digicel, better connected.
Be terrified by the line that went on forever, where one man is trapped in a never-ending car insurance payment line.
Wow, that sounds like a nightmare.
Right?
So why not skip the horror story and choose BCIC for all your car insurance needs?
You can go online and get a quote in less than 5 minutes. Or you can buy a policy in less than 10 minutes.
Plus payment options and so much more designed especially for you. BCIC, rethink insurance.
It's the Paris Games, darling. Everything needs to be perfect. Sneakers and spikes?
Check.
Her looks?
Check.
Okay, team. Seems like we pulled this off in record time. So, I just want to know, where's the water? Thanks, but I mean the cases of water. So she can stay hydrated for the games? Where's the water?
I didn't think she was taking water with her to Paris.
Hey, Jacko!
The water team send the cases ahead, so if you're good, then I'm officially ready for Paris.
Track and field, swimming, or any sport. Place your bets on the 2024 Olympics and more at betcadesports.com and enjoy the payouts. Now available on Barbados, St. Lucia, and Antigua Barbuda.
We a bucket together when everybody out. Fried chicken we a pre-bucket for the crew. Share a bucket together, everybody go live. Spicy original when we online.
Bucket together to the new dance craze. Taste explosion bursting with flames.
When we a bucket together, it put you in a good mood. Every moment to share is finger licking good. Bucket together, come make we bucket together. Bucket together, bucket together.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Having won her country's first Olympic medal on Saturday, Julian remained on course for an historic sprint double, the only Caribbean athlete into the final. Here is a look at the lane assignments for that final. This is going to be interesting, gentlemen. And looking at the lane assignments here now, here we go. Mackenzie Long of the USA in lane 2, Jessica Gabai, in lane 3, Dina Asher-Smith in 4, Daryl Nita in 6, Brittany Brown, Gabrielle Thomas, Julian Alfred, and Favor Ophil. Really impressive there. You have Julian and Favor, Gabrielle Thomas, the 3 athletes who probably are going into this race as favorites, J.
Yeah, between Brittany Brown in lane 6 and Favor Philly in lane 9, I believe those are where the 3 medals are going to come from in the women finals tomorrow.
Yeah, we still have Daniel Dowie joining us from the Paris commentary box. Daniel, what's your take on this lane assignment?
I'm still thinking about it. Julian Alfred in lane 8, Gabby Thomas behind her in 7. Interesting. Julian Alfred runs a lot harder in the first part of the race. Gabrielle Thomas, sometimes she goes out hard. A lot of times she runs from behind, closing on the home straightaway. So interesting to see that matchup. But what I do know is Julian Alfred is coming off a high in that 100-meter win. And I know that she will give it 100%. I would not be surprised if she gets the better of Gabby Thomas, who is the favorite, by the way. She's really strong, Gabby Thomas. It will be a matchup here of speed, this 10-700-meter speed from Alfred matching up with Gabby Thomas's 21 seconds mid. And she runs a really strong 400 meters, 49-second runner as well. So I do expect that it will be a matchup between Alfred and Gabby Thomas. Brittany Brown looks good as well.
Yeah, Anil Roberts, Alfred, if she approaches the bend with confidence and with power, I think she can very well be head-to-head with Thomas.
Well, I'm going to give you 2 sort of analyses, right? I'm going to give you scientific first. Gabby Thomas looks unstoppable. She's had a great season, no injuries. She's been running consistently, running to plan. She can run hard from the front, finish strong. She relaxes. In that semi-final, she looked magnificent in the last 60 meters. If you want to teach your children to run, just play that last 60 meters. High knee lift, relax, perfect alignment. Plus, the lane assignment favors Gabby Thomas because Alfred has the initial speed. Thomas will always be coming. So she can measure, she can feel, she can see, she can use Julian Alfred to get a solid time. Alfred's hardest part will be the last 15 meters because she's a 100-meter specialist. She's a 100-meter gold medalist, but she's guaranteed, as far as I'm concerned, the silver medal. So Gabby Thomas goes in favorite, looking great, but I'll be happy with the silver scientifically for Julian Alfred. No, let me talk now. We're talking Caribbean now. All that science, all that talk, all that analysis. I want Julian Alfred, I want the whole of St. Lucia, the whole of the Caribbean to start to pray, start to put positive vibes, because on the Olympics in a final, anything could happen. If we lift up that girl, she might take up that first 100, open up that gap. Gabby might start to scramble a little bit, panic coming around the bend, and Julian Alfred has the mentality, the class, and the wherewithal to finish it. So I go in with my heart. I go in with J.U. boys. I walk Caribbean, but I turn it off my brain. And I go in Julian Alfred. More light blue, boy, like the sky today in Jamaica. Light blue.
Listen, Anil Roberts can sell snow to an Eskimo. Now, Daniel, Anil Roberts just gave a very passionate description and analysis of the race. What do you think Julian Alfred needs to do in order to give herself a real fighting chance to get that gold medal?
Well, I don't know how you expect me to follow.
I don't expect you at all to follow one Roberts.
Okay, let's just get that. Yeah. But, you know, I just think she uses her speed and her running style to her advantage. She's in the outer lane. Gabby is behind her, and she's a better closer. So Alfred just has to maximize her strength, which means she has to get out and keep going. She has to play essentially catch me if you can and hope that Thomas or anybody else doesn't catch her. It's simple as that. Catch me if you can. She's on the outside. She has to run for her life. And I think this is the perfect time for her to do it. She's in the shape of her life, and she's coming off the high in the 100-meter win. And I think with the entire Caribbean behind her, we just pray her and will her across the line. And the thing is, she has enough of that on her own. She's very determined. She has the grit. And I don't think, and one of the things she's mentioned is that she, despite running so well throughout the season and having that world indoor title, she was still struggling with a little bit of confidence. So I think coming off the 100 meters, she's walking a little bit taller. That confidence is there. And I would not be surprised if she gets a personal best. It will take a personal best to win. So she's in prime position.
Yeah, will Dina Asher-Smith give some sort of an impact in this race, do you think?
Well, this is her better event. I don't see Dina beating Brittany Brown of the USA. Brittany looks really good, and Daryl Nita has been running well as well, but I know that Dina is a fighter. You see, the thing is, a lot of these women, they're fighters, and despite the form that she's coming in with, I know that she normally gives her best. I expect her to run a really good curve. That's her strength. She normally fades in the home straightaway. I don't think she will be on the podium. I could be wrong, but I don't think that will happen. I see those ladies in lane 6, Brittany Brown, Gabby Thomas in 7, and Alfred in 8 as the podium contenders, the top podium contenders in this one.
Yeah, Daniel just gave predictions there, Jehu. As mentioned yesterday, I told you your predictions have been quite spot on so far, and your analysis has been great. What are your top 3? Let's head the gold, silver, and the bronze.
Gold, silver, and bronze.
Yes.
I'll make a hearty decision this evening. I would like to see Julian Alfred on top. I'll say Gabby for silver, and then I'll go Brittany Brown for third.
Not a bad choice at all.
And Anil made some good scientific observations. I believe it's really a toss-up between Gabby and Julian. It's really a 50-50 showdown. It's who wants it more tomorrow, as he mentioned. The race is going to be won and lost in between the last 10 to 15 meters. We saw the London Diamond League. Gabby just marginally pipped her on the finish line. Julian is pure speed, pure power, whereas Gabby is really strength and speed endurance. So the 200 is who could handle their speed the best for the longest duration over that 200-meter period. So it's a 50-50 toss-up, but I'll make a hearty decision. I'll say Julian for the gold, Gabby for the silver.
You asked about Dina Asher-Smith. You saw it there in the semi-final. Dina Asher-Smith had a perfect start, perfect response, came out when, took off, and Gabby just measured her, went around the corner, and mashed gas and left her in the dust. So, if Julian Alfred wants to win, she has to be in a mentality, Jehu, that not only is she going to put down that 100 gold medal pace start and open up that gap and hope that coming around the bend will cause Gabby Thomas to stumble, to change her form, to change that majestic stride like an ostrich, make her run like a potong down in Port of Spain. But I don't think it will happen unless you really come hard. But if St. Lucia lifts up our girl, Juju, in the last 15 meters,
sure they will.
the whole Caribbean, that 15 meters, they want to lift up. I'm going with that. We're going heart and soul. No brain in this one.
I want to thank Daniel Dowie. Daniel, just give us your final thoughts on the entire discussion so far. You know, you've been a great addition to the We Party Prime show today.
Thank you. Thank you, Sachin.
Thank you very much for being with us, and we're going to take a short break and come back with more great vibes and great discussion on We Party Prime. Stay with us.
Where dreams come alive, new songs are sung, the notes rise to thee. Glorious, we rise above, in the games of unity, we find our love, Lord, yeah.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Hey love, you excited for date night tonight? I'm seeing you at 5, right?
Of course, babe. I'll see you at 5.
It's the Paris Games, darling. Everything needs to be perfect. Sneakers and spikes?
Check.
Her looks?
Check.
Okay, team. Seems like we pulled this off in record time. So, I just want to know, where's the water? Thanks, but I mean the cases of water. So she can stay hydrated for the games? Where's the water?
I didn't think she was taking water with her to Paris.
Hey, Jacko! The water team send the cases ahead, so if you're good, then I'm officially ready for Paris.
Life come with plenty tough decisions. But you know what not hard? Deciding which flavors to get on your amazing 4 pizza. Pepperoni, Hawaiian, chicken chunks, vegetarian. There's no pressure with Pizza Hut's amazing 4. You get 4 juicy flavors with 1 less choice to make. Pizza Hut, now that's delivery.
In the heart of Kingston's business mecca is a 17-story gem. The Jamaica Pegasus Hotel offers luxury to all our visitors for business or leisure. Relax in one of our many deluxe suites with mountain or pool views. Savor the array of culinary delights in our Blue Window restaurant. Enjoy complimentary breakfast or visit our 24/7 cafe. We boast 9 extensive conference facilities for your meetings and banquets. We look forward to welcoming you soon at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Welcome back to We Party Prime. 3 Caribbean men will face the starter in the 400-meter semi-final on Tuesday afternoon. First up will be Trinidad and Tobago's Jareem Richards in semi-final 1. Here's the start list for that semi-final. Lane 2, we've got Diouf of Senegal. Lane 3, Ibrahim. Lane 4, Busang. Lane 6, Hall. Lane 7, Jareem Richards runs out of lane 7. Charles Dobson, lane 8. And Harvard from lane 9. Gentlemen, This is going to be a very intense semi-final. Chris Taylor joins us for this discussion. Chris, I'm going to put you in the hot seat first and foremost. That probably the most, I would think, that the toughest semi-final of the three.
Yeah, toughest of the semi-finals for sure. But I like Trinidad and Tobago's Jareem Richards' chance in this. I mean, looked really impressive in the heat. He's run 44.18 so far this year. I think he'll go sub 48 in the semi-finals and well, Jareem, yeah, and even going into the final as well. But yeah, Quincy Hall, probably the most impressive of the 400 runners so far this season. So I think even if he's ahead of Jareem, that will help him that will pull him as well. So I think it's probably the favourable semi-final to be in as well. Might force him to go a little bit faster. And will be a good test leading into the final. But I do expect the Caribbean to have a finalist through Jareem. From that semi-final. And of course you have Doom and Dobson as well in there, two quality runners, the Belgian and the Great Britain athlete who ran really well in the heats.
Yeah, Jehu, Jareem qualified for the third fastest time, 44.31. You've done some work with Jareem, you've been with him for quite some time, you've raced together, I would think, at some points in time as well. What do you think his chances are?
Just as Chris said, great chances. We saw him setting a personal best at the London Diamond League this year, 44.18. He has the capability, he has the foot speed, he has the mindset, he has the support of Trinidad and Tobago at this time. He's one of our greater hopes. Yes, Jareem has been carrying the flag for Trinidad and Tobago over the last 8 years or so, 5 to 8 years. So Jareem, great prospect. I look forward to see him lower in the national record. That is my expectation for him. Once he lowers the national record, he has us place in the Olympic final.
Yeah, I think, you know, this has to be the biggest stage for Jareem. All eyes are on him from a Caribbean perspective, Anil, and he's looking to be one of the best in the world, if not the best.
Well, I kind of vexed because you see that semi-final, they gave my boy a tough run.
One, yeah.
However, in the Olympics, after having said that, they have 4 runners there who are going to fight for 2 big cues, and then one of them, the good part is that the person who comes third in that super speed semi-final would most likely be one of the small cues. So Jareem is right there. If you producer, put back that list, you're seeing Hall, you're seeing Doom, you're seeing Jareem, 4 of them from lane 5, 6, 7, and 8, and Dobson. That's the race. Forget everybody else. You see from Hall, Doom, Richards, and Dobson, focus your eyes there. 2 of the big cues coming from there and probably 1 cue, and I'm saying that my boy Jareem Richards, red, white and black, looks fantastic, ran a best time recently, look comfortable, cruising to 44.28. I think he goes sub 44 for the first time in his life, breaking the national record with a 43.92. to come second or first in that semi-final into the final looking for a medal. Trinidad and Tobago, wake up, set all your alarm, drink your coffee, eat your doubles, get ready, boy. The dream is on.
The doubles, they might sleep.
The doubles man might be looking at the race as well. Well, next up we have the 2012 champion Grenada's Kirani James, and semi-final 2, he will be running out of lane 8 in that semi-final 2. Here is a listing of that semi-final. And Kirani James in lane number 8, Cito, lane number 9 of Italy. And any favorites there, Chris?
Yeah, Kirani James. He'll be running blind, though, on the outside. But, yeah, I think this is a favourable semi-final, actually, for Kirani James. Christopher Bailey and Endori, to me, would be battling for that second spot. I wasn't really impressed by Bailey's performance in the heats. I think maybe Endori might sneak in. But I think Kirani James is in command of this, unless something goes woefully wrong. But as you said, he won't be able to gauge many athletes because he will be ahead of the pack. So I think he'll just have to run a solid race. But you can always count on Kirani to run in the 44s. I think he's very consistent. Once he comes into these races, he can even stroll his way to that. And I think that will be good enough to get him into the final.
Yeah, Jareem, my head is still on Jareem.
See it again. Yes.
My head is still on Jareem. Jehu, Kirani James has been one of the most consistent performers for his country and just for the Caribbean. His experience counts for a lot, and this will certainly count in this Olympics.
Yeah, for sure. He's the only man to get gold, silver and bronze over 3 Olympic Games. And I believe with his experience, he would know what it takes to get into the semi-final. And I don't see him out of that Olympic final.
Yeah, all right.
You know, this is why sometimes I prefer swimming, because you see, with all due respect, that semi-final day, you said it's favourable. Compared to Jareem's semi-final, That is a walk in the park, and I don't, in swimming, you go fastest to slowest, end of story, best time. But here it is, that Jareem, Dobson, Hall, and Doom, one of them ain't going.
Sometimes we get the luck of the draw.
Luck of the
draw, that's what we call it, the luck of the
draw.
draw.
Luck of the draw,
well,
correct. Karani got the luck of the draw there, so Grenada, all the inside.
It's not about luck, gentlemen. It's about pace and speed. Jamaica's Javon Powell will line up in semi-final number 3. Let's take a quick look at that one. Semi-final 3 of the 400. This is going to be very, very interesting. Here it is. Lane 2, we've got Lenogo from Botswana. And, of course, Powell running out of lane 9. So one would say maybe another favorable semi-final here, Chris.
For who?
No, this one.
I mean, Javon Powell, yes, he's worked hard to get into the semi-finals. He was the slowest of the Jamaicans in the heats. I think this might be too big for him, but he's in there with a chance. Anything can happen. But I think this is Norman. This is a race for the American Norman. I think he's probably the favorite going in here. Hudson Smith as well. Or in fact, Hudson Smith, I think, is the favorite. Norman probably the second favorite. But I think that's where the automatic qualifiers will come from. I do agree with Anil that I think that first semi-final, based on the speed demons in it, will pull, I think, the best small Qs out of it. My expectation is that the small Qs will come from semi-final 1. So it's really just 2, I think, battling out of this semi-final. And I think it will be Norman and Hudson Smith, who has been the most impressive, well, or if not the most impressive, the second most impressive this season from Great Britain. I expect him to grab this race.
All right, the analysis continues after this break. Stay with us on We Party Prime. We continue after this short break.
With grace and honor, we stand tall. Avec grâce et honneur, nous restons debout.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
In a world where our dreams sometimes seem so far away, Digicel is the partner that brings us all together. One side, one goal. One Digicel. One Jamaica.
Absolutely incredible performance.
Be terrified by the line that went on forever, where one man is trapped in a never-ending car insurance payment line.
Wow, that sounds like a nightmare.
Right?
So why not skip the horror story and choose BCIC for all your car insurance needs?
You can go online and get a quote in less than 5 minutes. Or you can buy a policy in less than 10 minutes.
Plus payment options and so much more designed especially for you. BCIC, rethink insurance.
It's the Paris Games, darling. Everything needs to be perfect. Sneakers and spikes?
Check.
Her looks?
Check.
Okay, team. Seems like we pulled this off in record time. So, I just want to know, where's the water? Thanks, but I mean the cases of water. So she can stay hydrated for the games? Where's the water?
I didn't think she was taking water with her to Paris.
The water team send the cases ahead, so if you're good, then I'm officially ready for Paris.
the crew. Share a bucket together, everybody go live. Spicy original when we online. Bucket together to the new dance craze. Taste explosion bursting with flame. When we a bucket together, it put you in a good mood. Every moment to share is finger licking good. Bucket together, come make we bucket together. Bucket together, bucket together.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Welcome back to the show. The Jamaican discus throw trio of Travis Michael, Roger Stoner and Ralford Mullings have all made progress to Wednesday's final at the Stade de France. Travis Michael threw 65.91 meters to finish 5th overall in qualifying. Roger threw 65.32 meters for 6th spot overall, and Ralford Mullings 65.18, 7th spot overall. Now let's hear from them.
Travis Michael, your 3rd Olympics. How are you enjoying it here in Paris?
It's been great. I mean, nothing is perfect, but you know, I'm enjoying it my own way.
Very diplomatic answer. Tell me something. 65.91. How happy are you with that as an effort?
I am pleased. You know, I started off very slow, but in this event, you have to forget the mistakes and then go again. This is my 3rd Olympics. My last 2, I've never made the final. When I was very young in 2012 and Tokyo when I was injured. And I said to myself this year that coming into this Olympics, I'm going to try and keep as healthy as possible because I feel like if I'm healthy, I would have a good chance.
Fascinating. You said you started off kind of slow. What do you think that was?
I changed the discus I normally used. So I learned my lesson quickly and I went back to my old faithful.
Wonderful. You spoke earlier this year about wanting to be an inspiration to the next generation of discus throwers. Did you manage to see your compatriot, Rajinja Campbell, in the shot put?
All right. So people don't know, Rajinja and I are the only left-handed throwers. Well, I don't know if there's any left-handed throwers that was in the discus, but for Jamaica, in terms of world-class throwers, we are the only left-handed throwers, and we always have these conversations. You know, as lefties, you know, we have to do it, and Rajinja went big, and I'm very proud of him because I do understand. And I have my own experiences of having difficulty with help and, you know, assistance to just even be very competitive. I mean, we're going against guys who, you know, they get the help. And I know everything is different for everybody. But at the same time, you have to come out here if you have the desire and passion and just go big. And I'm so happy for Rajinja. I hope something good comes of his success.
I mean, it's a surreal experience. I mean, the crowd, the environment, it's crazy. It's nothing like I've ever been in before.
Through 65.18 meters, how do you feel about that?
I feel pretty confident that will make it to the finals, hopefully. If it doesn't, I mean, it wasn't to be, but hopefully I'm toward the finals.
It's been a good year for you. You threw a PB this year.
Yes, that's great.
So did you come into the Olympics feeling fully confident?
Yeah, I mean, but everyone has their doubts. You just got to be confident and work what you're working on in practice, but just come and execute and compete.
Roger Stoner, Group B, a long-time finish after the Group A. How was it today for you?
It was good. I did a qualifying mark on the second throw, and it was good enough for the finals.
Nice indeed. It's been an incredible year for you. No plans to head to the NFL?
No comments on that right now. I'm focused on the Olympics right now. Yeah.
And how have the Olympics been? Paris 2024, it's been challenging.
Yeah, no, not really. It's just been just regular training, just keep the same routine and everything. So it's just to prepare for the competition, really.
An interesting point there. His actual goal is to be in the NFL. That's interesting, but he's focused on the Olympics now, and he said that publicly. His focus is not on the NFL, but is directed to the Olympic Games. Chris, the Caribbean has never medaled in discus. The Jamaicans having a good representation, and this year, do you think any one of them can be a podium finisher?
Oh, for sure. Massive for Jamaica and the Caribbean to have 3 throwers in the final. That's the first that has ever happened. You know, Frederick Dakers, you go back in the years, did win a silver medal at the World Championships. I think it was 2019. So they have some history in terms of big producing at the highest level. But yeah, you know, Schmeichel has been around for a while. Great to see him. He went to the London Olympics in 2012. So it's great to see him come back on this stage and produce. He's been to World Championship finals before, but hasn't really found that end product. So, you know, you hope with his experience now, he will lead the other 2. Has the best throw so far. So, yeah, coming into a final, the hope will be that they can produce. But I think, yes, for sure, they're very competitive, 5th, 6th, and 7th overall. Obviously, there's Czech and Stahl from Sweden and Slovenia. But I think there's a very good chance for Jamaica to grab one of those medals in this, and maybe even a throw like what they threw before could actually put them on a medal podium. I don't think that the field, when I look at it, I don't think a lot of the field are at its best necessarily, and that could work in their favor. They seem to be.
Anil Travis mentioned in his interview piece that the resources that the Caribbean athletes maintain and they receive, it's way lower than what the other nations have received, but his performance is certainly on top of the game.
Well, first and foremost, there's place and time. You have a final to go on through. I don't want to hear nothing about no resources, no crying. No, there's not the time for that. We have time. When I went 96 Olympics with Leah Martindale and so on, we swimming in a 20-yard pool, no lane rope thing. We can't cry. We talk after. So what you have to do, sir, get ready. Get the medal. When you get the medal, you come down and you talk. You come down and let them know you need resources, you need assistance, you need a stipend for supplements and travel and competition and pay gym fees and massage and so on. But not, please, before final, Chris, you should be totally focused on how you have to spin, how your left hand going and circle, how you're going and accelerate. I'm glad that it changed. You don't come with a new discus or new equipment in our Olympics. That's like our big boxer, Leslie Tiger Stewart, who went and fight in a new boots and get knocked out. What are you going and fight with a new boots for in a World Championship fight, Chris?
No, yeah, I mean, agreed. You don't want excuses or distractions at this time, but you know, as I said, that could be a slight, you know, that could be a bit of well, can be an experience on Schmeichel's perspective. But yeah, I take that point from Anil as well. But I think these 3 guys, as you said, Mullins came in, was it Mullins, I think, who threw, or Stoner, who threw, I mean, with their first throw, executing that distance. So yeah, I think when they fully get warm here, settle off the nerves after maybe the initial throw or so. But it would be good for them, and this is where Schmeichel maybe has fallen away in previous events. You want to get a big throw, a big throw early. Set the stage, take the pressure off of you, let everyone else chase. And that would be something that you'll be looking towards. I think that's one of the things that Dakers did well. So let's see if one of those 3 can get higher than 5th.
Yeah, if we get that big throw in, we could end up like Rajendra and his pack there, having a very, very, very hectic and a very tight finish down to the end there. But let's take a quick look at the medal table. First up, we have the athletics medal table, and this is how it looks, the athletics medal table. Here we go. The USA on top of things there with 3 gold medals. China second with 1, and coming down the ranks there till position number 10, St. Lucia on the medal table. Jamaica still yet to be in the top 10, but we do have some potential medalists there that could get Jamaica up and running there, Chris. But Jehu, the athletics medal table, here it is, another look at it, the top 20, and we do have Jamaica in position number 14.
Jamaica still awaits their first goal, and it is only until the first goal then they could get at least anywhere close to the top 5 or so, and then they will go on, we call it alphabetical order. So still some ways to go for Jamaica. I'm not seeing it happening tomorrow, so we'll have to wait closer down as we look forward to the rest of the championship.
Yeah, Australia not getting a gold medal so far. Ethiopia as well, down on the end there, position number 19. Germany just having that 1 silver medal. So lots of medals to come, and maybe all these countries will be eyeing the athletes to come, and hopefully that some of them will medal. Here is a look at the overall medal count now. China on top of things in terms of their gold medal count with 21. The USA second with 19. Australia third with 13. France fourth with 12, and Great Britain in position number 5, rounding off the top 5 with 11 gold medals, 41 in total for them. 45 for France, 32 for Australia, 75 for the USA, and 52 in total for China.
In that Great Britain, how many for England? How many for Scotland? How much Wales
I
get?
know he was coming with this
discussion. Must come with that one, Great Britain, or let them
You know, if time will permit, sometime, hopefully before the end of the Olympic Games,
Great Britain
we will have that
colonialism
discussion.
done.
We
How
will
is
have that
Great
discussion.
Britain? Tell me England, Scotland, Wales.
Northern Ireland.
So they are none and void then.
Yeah, Great Britain. But you have St. Lucia, Dominica with population 70,000.
I agree with you.
Man,
that's a discussion we need to have, and hopefully we can have time to discuss that in a later We Party Prime.
But Trinidad and Tobago coming on that table.
They're coming up. They're coming up. Dream it and believe it. All right, thank you very much to Chris Taylor. Thanks to Jehu. Thanks to Anil. And thank you very much to Daniel Dowie joining us from the Paris Combox. And thank you once again for joining us on behalf of all of us here at We Party Prime. We'll see you soon.
With passion and courage, our hearts beat. De chaque nation, nous venons pour rivaliser. Avec passion et courage, nos cœurs sont élevés. In the arena, we give our all. With grace and honor, we stand tall. Dans l'arène, nous donnons tout. Avec grâce et honneur, nous restons debout. Nous restons debout. Nous restons debout. Nous donnons tout. Avec grâce et honneur, nous restons debout. L'ouvrons notre éclat.
Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by Sponsorship of this broadcast brought to you by
Welcome to Paris, host city for the 33rd Olympiad. In this hour, sports highlights from the Olympic Games.
The Châteauroux Shooting Centre witnessed its last indoor final when the medals were decided in the men's 25-metre rapid-fire pistol. Li Yuehong of the People's Republic of China was the man to beat, the only qualifier to make back-to-back finals after taking a second Olympic bronze in this event in Tokyo. His compatriot Wang Xinjie